There's a man on a wanted list in Middlesbrough. His name is Rob Edwards. As after a very impressive start to the season, the Middlesbrough boss actually left that position, leaving Middlesbrough fans angry, and they're out to get some revenge by swapping places with Wolves in the Premier League to the Championship. And they need to do it under the new manager, Hellberg of Sweden. As today we pleased the Boro fans by putting him in charge of his new club and taking them all the way to the Champions League, however with some strict aims. You'll see in a moment, as yes people, welcome to this Middlesbrough save. Now this team is not lined up how I exactly thought it would be. Is Ruben Amorim in charge here, or is it the new manager Hellberg, who at the time of recording has just won his first game against high-flying Derby County? On really good form themselves, as we aren't going to use life points. You'll see in a second why. But the main reason being, A, I don't want Coventry just walking away with the league title, and B, does any Middlesbrough fan really want to remember what Rob Edwards has been doing? No, we want to start fresh, and we want to go for it under this new manager with a contract. Yes, when we get a new manager, we get a contract rebuild. As the first objective you're going to see is a very, very weird one. We're going to sign 2 of his ex-players and 4 Swedish players to this Middlesbrough side, because that's where the new gaffer is from. He is a Swedishman. And he's coached 3 clubs, Harambe, Värnamo and Norrköping. Probably haven't pronounced them right. And at Norrköping, he was only assistant manager, as we've got £9 million to spend, and we've got to spend that probably towards the objectives before we unlock the second set. As do I think this team can actually get promoted? Well, maybe a playoff place. We've got some really, really stellar players, such as Hayden Hackney, man. I think if we do get an offer from the Premier League, though, we sell him, because there's so much speculation about this man's future. Because we've got Aidan Morris, who's just as good. And I know that might not please all Boro fans, but yeah, I'm going to take the chance with Hackney. I want to make money elsewhere to improve the starting 11. As Hellberg, definitely not a user of this stinky formation. He is a 4-2-3-1 man, so that's the formation I've changed it to. And the team you're seeing now is the one that played in his debut game, the 2-1 win over Derby County, where Matty Target and Whittaker scored. Now, I think it's a decent team, but there's players out of position, and I don't know if this was the exact one. I know it's the starting 11 players. As he finds out more about his squad, and this is the lineup we've actually been granted with Sverre Niepan. What a gem this guy could be, on loan from Manchester City, but doesn't mean he's permanent, as there's other permanent players who can play cam, like Sonte Janssen and Riley McGree. What a player this man's been in his day, as well as Kante. 19 years old, this man. Could potentially be a centre-back. Could potentially be loaned out if we don't sell Hayden Hackney, as the first bid in is for Riley McGree. That's definitely getting turned down. And you see the bid was in from Wolves. That's Rob Edwards trying to poach from his old club. Probably not the time to record this video, especially when I've got a haircut similar to Rob Edwards's. I didn't mean for that to actually happen, as firstly I'm going to go to one of the ex-clubs, as he was the manager of Värnamo. I didn't actually know they were in the game. Is there anyone usable? Well, Ishak's not actually a bad player. Some decent ratings. Okay, that guy's got a bit of potential. Oh, but he's on loan. So instead of looking at this club, I'm going to look at Harambe, the club he did just leave from, and I think these do have some better players. Right, Victor Eriksson as a centre-back, 6'4". He could do a job in the Championship. I think he's built for it, and guess what? Matt Target is only on loan. There is Noah Persson. This man's a Swedishman, and we could afford the defensive duo. Both actually Swedish. That's even better. 4 play styles on the 6'4", 24-year-old centre-back who's got time to grow. Victor Eriksson will be signed. I think he's a quality backup addition. Or he could even be first choice, you know, as Noah Persson. He's only 21 years of age, taking up the majority of the budget, and Matty Target I will keep for 1 season, but we can put them 2 in. 2 Swedish signings straight off the offset. And here we go. This is what I expected. Our second bid in, and I didn't even have to transfer list him. 9 million from Fulham for Hayden Hackney. I'm sorry, he's got to go, and this is going to be a very long first season, as I've signed 2 Swedish players already. I don't want to turn this into a Swedish rebuild entirely, so, but I think I need another one, as Hayden Hackney's not going to get fully replaced. I am going to trust the now 20-year-old Kante to step into that defensive midfield shoes and put the rest of money into coaches, and then the rest of the money onto a bench DM still, because we needed another one, and this man is our first Swedish man. This is Otto Rosengren, 22-year-old defensive midfielder, maybe one that Kim Hellberg is admiring in Sweden. Obviously had to change to a CDM and goes up +1. Not bad for a Hayden Hackney replacement, but he won't have started because we already had one in the midst of our team in Kante, but he's still lower rated and has not played every minute, just like a person that's not been playing. Well, hey, and Eriksson at centre-back. He's done decently, same as Morrison, same as Whittaker. Sverre Nipan. Now, see, I know I can change him, and I have, to a 74. But he will not remain at Middlesbrough. He goes back to Manchester City and crushes us, because now we've got a whole of 11 goals out the team with Conway and Whittaker, the top scorer, with 16 goals and 13 assists for our first full championship season. And now Rob Edwards. Now, I didn't use life points still. I'm blaming him for this. Leaving the club, making me pick up the pieces and finishing 10th. I mean, Coventry in 9th, going straight up is Ipswich and Southampton, the two teams that were recently relegated. In a rather boring story, Swansea reached the Emirates FA Cup finale. We were beaten by Southampton, one of them teams above us, and Swansea beat us on penalties to stop us reaching the quarter-finals of the Carabao. And I know from recent years, Middlesbrough do like a run in this competition, with Michael Carrick taking them very far. Has Michael Carrick got a new club? I don't think he has, and it seems like goal scoring was an issue for us. Morgan Whittaker getting 14, and way down on that list, so I think we're bringing a striker. And if you're ready for one, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, as we're on the race to 70,000. And now, I was kind of expecting to get players back, but we've actually lost them, because we've lost the left-back Matt Target back to Newcastle. A decent loan spell with Persson, probably still not getting all the game time, but I am going to trust him. It's a cam that I want. McGree can go back out wide. And yes, strikers, but on the bench, we have Strelec, who's okay. We have Sene, who's okay, but both 25 years old, which isn't the youngest. And hang on, we've got Force back, we've got Malander, we've got Engel, a new left back, so we could actually do with selling some players beforehand. Before our spending, of course, is 11 million, plenty of money to try and win this league with, as the expectations are automatic promotion, but you'll see in a moment the reason I want to win this division. Just hang in there, we've got objectives to come on that shortlist after we do sign. Yes, I am going to be signing another Swedish player, maybe just as a backup goalie, but I am going to be selling players as well. Not necessarily to make money, but just make sure the players we want playing are playing. For examples, Lucas Engel. He's the main man I wanted out to give our left back chance in person, because I literally want him playing. He's 22, he's still got potential in the bank. Same as Kante, but I kind of want to replace him with Rosengren. Again, like I just said, I think I'm going to go for a backup goalie. From Sweden, as Strelec, he's out the club for 3 million to Freiburg. And Solbrin, I wanted to sell Dieng, but the only bid came in for our man Sol, giving this man a chance. I don't know where he's actually looking in that picture, but Carl Eriksson, another Eriksson, and another player surprisingly from Harambe, or Hammarby I'm seeing it as now, as that is the first objective completed. And I'm glad we did it in the championship, because the second objective is to win 2 English trophies. That's right, this does not count Europe. We've got to win stuff here in England, and the championship we've got to aim for, because winning 2 major domestic trophies would be difficult. Doable, but difficult, as now we've got a very solid bench. And first team, I need McGree over there, and I do need Hansen changing to a cam, but not being our third choice, as look at the coaches. They've got it going from an ETA of 38 weeks to only 8 weeks. He's moving quick. With coaches, as another position I said I was going to actually prioritise, I never realised the age of Tommy Conway. He's only 23 years old. And partnered with Whittaker, he should score goals, as I am looking in Italy for a striker. This man, he was on loan as on at Ipswich, who just grabbed promotion, but I'm actually looking at the wrong position, aren't I? Completely forgot we need a cam and Valentin Carboni. But I'm going to maximise my budget. Gattiano Oristanio. He's come from Venezia, who are usually always in a relegation battle here on FC26 at the start of saves. Wow, what a signing. Only 24, 81, brilliant attacking man. But where's our other attacking man got to? Yes, Morgan Whittaker is gone. We've got Hansen, the backup cam in there. We've got Conway up front at an 82, an 81 Morris, and an 80 Eriksson in the starting 11. But Persson has not played because Borges, bloody Borges at 30, deciding to scrap his game time. I hate it. As a +7 for Tommy Conway. And then a +5 for Gatiano Oristanio. I don't think I'll ever get his name right. And a lot of goals for Sonte Janssen. Same as Rosenberg, as Janssen to a 73. It doesn't change to a cam. And he might have to be a right mid because we do need to focus on that position. And left back next season because Persson's growth is going pear-shaped. I hate it, but I don't hate how the league is finishing because Leeds United have still got a game to play, but they cannot catch the title winners by 1 point. Not even goal difference. Goal difference, we were terrible. We shipped 83 goals. I blame the goalie. I blame the left back. Still, we did manage to get our first trophy, 2 needed before the final objective, out of the way. And I must say as well, in this second season, the Community Shield does not count. And I don't know why I said that, because in order to win that, we actually have to win another trophy like the FA Cup. We're not in the final of. Aston Villa actually beating us in round 3. So we lost to a finalist in the Carabao Cup. Come on, we had a decent run last year. Bloody penalties to Everton. And that reminds me, now we're back in the Premier League. Clicking the back button quite quickly there, but how's our old man got on? I say old man like he's an old player, but Hackney, he's lower rated than Aidan Morris, showing they don't have the coaching expertise that we do have at this club. We can afford more, because these were all appointed in season 1. Or should I say most of them were. We got more midfielders because we signed that midfield cam to complete our attacking midfielders, but then again we lost our 85 rated Morgan Whittaker. Marco Silva, stay away. I'm glad it's not been sold to Rob Edwards, all these players we've lost, but we definitely need to add some to this squad. With centre-back, Jones the captain, being 74 rated, but still before that we need a goalkeeper, we need a left-back, we need a right midfielder. All to survive in this Premier League, never mind push for another trophy just yet, as £58 million, where can that get us towards some success? Hopefully a long way. Have the scouts helped us out? Any means necessary? Look at that name. I'm not going to sign him back from Fulham like they've been signing from us. There's Mihailo Kvekovic. Can I pronounce any of these names? There's a really good player at my club, Grimsby Town. If a bid comes in for Tommy Conway, that's the first replacement I'm going straight to. As much as I don't want to steal from the club that I actually love. And then I'm going to sell Senny Dieng, and I think I'm going to sell Birdsong because Hansen is going to drop down to his bench position. He deserves, and I've actually started a selling spree here. Not a selling spree I wanted to start, but kind of needed to, especially with the age of the players and Callum Britton. Our first sale to Wolves, and to that dreaded manager Rob Edwards, because he was 29-year-old anyway, and it says the game has reached his peak. And now we're a Premier League club. I think we can go better, and we are going over to the Belgian league for a Mexican 23-year-old Rodrigo Huescas for less than we've sold Britain for, as I didn't enjoy selling him to Wolves, but Edwards did bring him to Middlesbrough in the first place. Fantastic addition, but don't think I forgot about the left-hand side. Mateo Del Blanco, he arrives, he's only 23 years of age, and that's 2 key positions coming in, but we definitely need to go straight back to goalkeeper, or actually do we? Carl Eriksson, 18 years of age, Swedish, left-footed. He's not been on a training drill, but I think if we make him a ball-playing goalkeeper, could Kim Hellberg take his first risk of actually trusting him with them stats? If we just go and get a right mid, and then we go and get a competent centre-back to cover in the defence as Alessandro Cercati, and then Abdul Fatawu makes his return to the Premier League after being here with Leicester City in previous seasons. He arrives from Marseille, as this is another weird season. I know I say as a lot as well. I'm realising that in videos. And comment as if I do. Spelt AS. Don't be cheeky down there. As you can see, we finished in 9th position with a -9 goal difference. Leaking goals seems to be our massive problem. Although we scored a lot. Matty Tag, it goes back to Newcastle to actually win the FA Cup. Where did we finish? Tranmere Rovers? Beaten by a League 2 side when we're actually needing to go for another trophy. Disgraceful. Alongside getting beat in the Carabao Cup finale. Flashback to Michael Carrick when he was winning in the first leg against Chelsea and they got beat as we got beat by Man United for Chelsea to actually win it. I guess you can call that frustrating, as Fatawu came from Marseille on that wing. I think I've already said that. Rosengren growing. I like the growth in Eriksson, the GK. To a 76 now. We don't have a backup goalkeeper, however. I never thought we'd actually given him that chance. It left us with no one else. That's how we probably lost to Tranmere. That's how we're probably not doing well in cups. There's 2 signings we need to make. I think I'm going to trust Huescas and Riley McGree. Well, he's gone up 2. He's only 29. He's a Boro legend, or a Boro legend to us. And I think on the bench, well, I was going to say it could be a good cam. However, Hansen's already there, and I am going to change him to a winger to get that +7. So maybe a backup cam is also required. And I'm thinking, do we go first choice goalkeeper, or do we just give Eriksson the chance like we just did for Tawu, as he's our top scorer? I think we replaced very well these 2 lads that are still out. I say still out because I thought they'd have moved on from Fulham. Hayden Hackney kind of stunting in his growth. Unlike Whittaker, who doesn't have a release clause, very good for Fulham there. And is double what our budget is. We've only got £44 million to spend, with a team consisting of needing a mid-table finish. I think we did that last season, and I think we scored a lot of goals in doing so, through 2 players in particular: Orostar Neo, the cam, and then Fatawu, Conway, I think was joint on goals with, was it McGree? And he submitted a transfer request as the Flying Scotsman. I know he did the same at Bristol City, where he did come through as a youth. And I think we can cash in on Tommy. I think we could get a better striker in. And our first bid, it's not much. It's 64.5 million from Arsenal. Am I wrong in thinking, maybe I'm cheeky in thinking, yes, it's below his evaluation. We usually get higher. I'm going to try and squeeze out 74 from Arnie Slot's Arsenal, and 66.9 million. It's actually gave me an idea I will have to put into motion very far into this save if we keep on going the way I expect us to. It's just reminded me when I went to Arsenal. So Tommy Conway, we're going to take that money, £104 million, and we're going to invest it in a way you may not expect me to. And that is to change our style of play, not the formation that Kim Hellberg actually plays. Sign 3 players again at the back and leave the forwards, as without Tommy Conway, I think we can get into the UCL if we sign top quality defenders and we do go for this deep approach. With wing backs inside forwards, I'm going to make them even more attacking. We know we've got goals from Fatawu, from McGree, from our Italian Cam Gattiano. So defensive improvement's the aim of the game, and John Mikel Aramburu is the first one. And then we need a left-footed centre-back as well, in Calvin Bassey, getting revenge on the mighty Cottagers stealing our best players when we were in the Championship, as now that is an 80 rated plus defensive shape with 38 million in the bank. I want to do 2 things. I want to get an okay striker, but then get a world-class keeper, as I am thinking going old, going bold for the man in between the sticks, and taking instant quality, as for 18 million, Jan Oblak's here on a high contract, yes, and then a striker on a low wage to try and poach some goals for us, and it's the return of our striker, Strelec. I love it. I love it when a good plan comes together. We were 2 points off winning the Premier League, which would have been our trophy confirmed, but we don't get them 2 points, and now it's just the Champions League, still needing another trophy before we can go on and win it. So we cannot win the Champions League in next season unless we win another one just before that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're 2 points off the Premier League, and we lose in an Emirates FA Cup final. Liverpool, what are you doing to us? What are you doing to the entirety of football? In England, it's domination by the Liverbird. I hate to see it. However, still, it's what we wanted to do, and this team, compared to the one you literally saw moments ago, like I said, Strelec, I kind of wasted money on. Re-signing a striker we sold for 3 million for 8 million doesn't seem good business. However, when you consider the profits of Tommy Conway going towards Oblak, going towards this defence, which conceded significantly more goals, I think it's a good turn of fortunes. Will Jan Oblak last the whole save? I really doubt it now at 36. Hence why he was so cheap. And David Strelec did score 25. Maybe buying another season? I mean, if the dynamic potential does turn for him. He's got support behind him, as is he in the team of the season, despite finishing 3rd. 1 player in the team of the year, and that's our new left back Del Blanco. Shocked by that team of the year, but not shocked by our new budget of 113 million. Now you might say, do the realistic thing and replace David Strelec, but he did score a significant amount of goals and he is a really decent striker. Then again, I think I do have to switch him out. Alongside Riley McGree, 30-year-old, really been a good servant. And despite his quality, I've just been in favour of getting him out since he actually went in. Leaving left mid to take priority, and then we'll move over to striker. But then again, I've got in mind a striker I want to sign, but we still don't have enough funds. You probably guess who that is with the manager, with probably the thumbnail. But yeah, let's stick to left mid for this season. I think we can get a quality player here as well with the money, because I don't feel like we will win the Champions League this season. That first player was quite decent. Going ahead and looking in the Bundesliga, I'll change over to La Liga. I think La Liga could be a better bet for us. And that is perfect. Diego Lopez, he was saved from the struggling Valencia and just fits the mould. He completely fits the mould for a player here at Middlesbrough. 78 million, that's very steep. They were not being stingy, when I in fact was trying to be. So yes, we don't have a Cam on our bench, but Lopez into our team, that is instant improvement. And despite us not being able to afford the man right here that I have in mind, don't think you're getting any sneak peeks. I've blurred him out because we need to still try and win another trophy without him. So I'm going to go for a striker from the Serie A, and I don't care about the age of him. I'm going for someone experienced in hopefully winning. Dovbeek is our middleman. He's been at Roma for some time now, but he needed to get back in a red kit, and he is in the red of the mighty Middlesbrough. Under Kim Hellberg in this formation, he should do well as well. Has got Lopez, not grown too much. Fatawu has, Aaron Boro has. It's always one side of the field that grows better than the other. We've got a 90 rated Gatiano Ostarnio. I can never say that name and I don't think I'll ever be able to. But he's our best, but he's not our top scorer. The top scorer is +1 because we don't have many midfield options on the coaches to improve Diego Lopez, as we simply need this second trophy. And we're not going to get it. Again, we go in the Champions League. And if we win the Champions League this year, it will not count towards a trophy because we need to win an English one first. Unless we've won the Carabao, because the FA Cup is a giant failure. And I'm not going to show you who we lost to because I think you already know by my implication. And what you did just see on screen as Norwich City beat us in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, this is completely pointless. And it's a terrible run of games in the Champions League. I think, again, next season, we have to go and get a striker. As yes, we've just gone and signed a decent one, but beating Dinamo Zagreb and conceding 4 goals to the Croat team, never usually in Europe, or the Champions League knockout round. So we did beat Milano, which is AC. We beat Madrid. Hang about. There we go. Just what I expected. Losing in a semi-final, we almost went all the way. But this team, yeah, it just lacks a gilt-edged striker, which we don't have, but I've got one in mind, and he's going to be getting older by the minute. 126 million. And I did talk about the Community Shield, which we're now in, and I regret saying it at the start that we couldn't enter it if we didn't win a cup competition. We technically have, because Arsenal won both of the trophies that we were after. As we've got to finish in the Champions League again, we need to win the FA Cup and win the Champions League. I mean, that will count, because that FA Cup will count towards going into the Champions League. As for all the international duty, I'm not happy with them all going out to play for the countries. Get back here, Fatawu. Don't get injured. Get back here, Artem Dovbeek. Or actually don't. Play for your country, because you're the man I'm going to be replacing. It's about time we reveal his face, and we've had Oblak, we've had Dovbeek on the decline, and this is the next man, Viktor Gyökeres. I'm really glad he's left Arsenal, because it wouldn't be a realistic signing from Arsenal, who just beat us to the league and beat us to the FA Cup. But he's homesick from England, he's Swedish, he will link up with Kim Hellberg, and we've had to overpay again, but at least that's our pacey, physical man, with a bench which is really good. We've got a Swede down there, or 2 Swedes, a right back who should be into the starting 8, and then McGree, and then Hansen. But it ain't going to work, so 33 million. I'm going to bring in a CDM, and then I'm going to see how we do in the Community Shield. Can we cope with knockout football? Or should I say one-off games? The signing is Adrian Bernabé, the Spanish defensive midfielder who is over the rating of 80, taking our full bench to over that mark. Oh, but Gyökeres has gone down a rating before we go and play Arsenal in this Community Shield. And to be fair, for it to only go to a penalty shootout. If we just don't run into them, we may be fine this season, although Gyökeres down to an 86. On the bench, Dovbeek to a 78. And old players apart from them too. We've got two 91s on our right-hand side, a 93 in Cam, a very nice Swedishman, taking over Gyökeres. This is the growth you can get from Otto. He's got 99 defending, 97 physical. Don't know why none of his other stats are growing as well. Maybe because I've had him on centre-half training for the longest time imaginable. I just needed to take him off it, as he might go to an 89 very, very shortly. Hopefully winning a trophy with us as well, as that's it. We've done it in the first one. The Premier League trophy definitely counts towards an English major honour. So that means that objective on the contract is completed, and we move on to the final one, which is to, of course, win the Champions League just straight out. I alluded to it throughout the video, as Arsenal, of course, beat us in the Community Shield, and we beat them in the Emirates FA Cup as well as Prem. We even hammered Liverpool 4-1, and then we beat Arsenal under Arne Slot, which is perfect. Victor Gyökeres, the ex-striker, coming back to haunt them. As we had a real shocker there, though, losing to Plymouth Argyle in the Morgan Whittaker derby, in which I'm wondering how he's done. We drew 2 games, won 6. In the Champions League phase, we beat Roma 4-2. That's Dovbeek's ex-club. Then Bayern Munich, that's Gyökeres's. A lot of ex-clubs getting beaten. Before Barcelona. Have we signed any Barcelona players today? I don't really care, because it puts us stopping the El Clasico and in the finale against Madrid. This definitely won't be an easy game still. Like I said, aging players and a lot of downgrades in this squad. However, goals being scored by it. We've got Lopez with 31 and Victor with 28. The Metropolitano awaits. Isn't that the stadium of Atletico Madrid? And seeing as Real Madrid have made the way to the finale, that to me doesn't sound fair, so we might have to use our Spaniard used to playing on fields like this and scoring 31 goals. It's Lopez going round the houses into Rosenberg, or whatever his name is, Boro. He's played in Spain before and saved by a Spanishman in David Raya. But what a shot. That was a glove stinger, as there goes Gattiano with the ball whipped in towards another Swede. Could have got an early goal. Could have got an early 2. Just need to put them shots right next time, as here goes Boro. Space down the middle. We've got to work these 90-rated players on this right-hand side. A little move by Fatawu. Did he really need to try and do that skill move? I don't know. We could have got away with it, as Marco Del Blanco into Rosenberg. That's a terrible tackle, is that? I don't think that's going to be a red card. I just want to skip it straight away and take this free kick. It's Gattiano, our Italian. Almighty curve on it, but no testing the goalkeeper on it, as that's a good block by Eriksson. Need to just calmly pass this out. Calvin Bassi into Aramburu and Morris to run through the middle. Here we go. This could be a potential breakaway. We've been all over them so far. It's into Abdel Fatawu. No, this is Hansen. Why is Fatawu not in the starting 11? Did he have a suspension or something? I guess he did. Sonjay Hansen. A brilliant, well-worked goal. A terrible replay of it. And our number 27, always the lucky number to me, breaks Real Madrid hearts as Rosengren into the middle once more. And that was almost a turnout. Still not keeping the ball fully, though. And Morris into Orestiano. Can't really say his name. Victor Gyökeres across the box. It was almost time for the second goal, which almost landed to us as Del Blanco, Rosengren, Gyökeres. We need to get going again in the second half, as I only see us winning it. That's a ball across the box. That should be 2. That's a brilliant save. David Raya take a bow, because without him, it's surely 2 or 3 by now, as still we could keep this alive. Last Antuono, that is a brilliant move, though. Kylian Mbappe on the chase away. Need to get the tackle right. Don't do that as well. Kylian Mbappe. Oh, my days. Calvin Bassi got back in time, and Gyökeres, if he could be released here, get the run in from Hansen behind. He doesn't. So he runs straight into Asensio, who had to time the tackle. Already on a booking, but let's keep on going. Cristiano, Gattiano, I don't know how you say his second name. I'm going to call him Cristiano Ronaldo, because that's the way he's running the show. If he taps that on, that's a brilliant move, and that is going to be the winning goal, surely. Diego Lopez, the ex-player from La Liga, Spaniard, with a fantastic goal. This is the best replay we're actually going to get in this FIFA. And I think he's got himself injured, so Riley McGree may get some game time in a UCL finale as Eriksson. What a Colossus tackle by our very tall man. and at least our left midfielder's on his feet. We could go down the middle here. I'll play it safe. Out wide into Aaron Boro. Across the middle. There goes Gattiano. Looking for that next goal. Has absolutely smothered them from this corner kick. It's Jude Bellingham. 1 minute on the clock. He goes backwards. The ball is hoofed up the field. We win that header. Eriksson hasn't missed a beat. And Middlesbrough have won the Champions League over Real in their backyard. I'm pretty sure this stadium we're actually playing at is the Atletico Metropolitano. I could be wrong though, could be wrong. And that man who just won the header in the dying embers, doing it for Kim Hellberg, because that's a nice little fit. Eriksson and Kim Hellberg, the Swedish link, as this hasn't been dominant of the Swedish side. Swedish signing to be made. And if you have enjoyed this rebuild though under the new manager, make sure you click here for more videos on the channel.